Welcome to your weekly energy download. I'm here to help you understand the collective energy that's moving through all of us right now. Think of it like emotional weather that we can all feel. When we name it and understand it, we can work with it instead of against it. We're going to look at what energy we just moved through, what's showing up now as our invitation to grow, and how you can use this information to navigate your week with more flow and less resistance. Let's dive in.
You can grab your chart by either scanning the QR code on the screen, or you can click the link that I just dropped into the chat called the transit overlay. Once you do that, you're going to be brought to a landing page that looks something like this. It says, "Welcome back to yourself." You'll have an opportunity to put in your name, birth details, etc. You'll also have the opportunity to put in the location information of the city where you are, the date and the time, and that will get you your transit overlay chart. Anything in blue is infinitely you. These are gifts, these are gates that your soul chose in this lifetime to help you fulfill your life curriculum and your soul purpose. Anything in this pinkish purplish color is temporary energy that you're getting access to from the transit, from the planets moving around, shaking up there. And it's always awesome to know when we have access to these gifts because if we don't, we live in reaction to it instead of working with the energy, as we'll see with the people in our lives this week. All right, let's talk briefly about the energy that we just left. So, last week we were in deep themes of mental heaviness and emotional grace. We had 47 in our sun, which asked us to transmute confusion and oppression into realization, to look back at past experiences and extract wisdom rather than staying stuck in the weight of it all, that mental weight. Then we had gate 22 in our earth, balancing that energy, and that invited us into gracious presence, really honoring that emotional wave, showing up with authenticity, and letting grace shape how we connect. Together, they gave us this alchemical process. Take the heaviness, sit with it, and let grace transform it into meaning. The final reflection question that I have for you for this energy is, what story from my past is ready to soften into wisdom? Now, the energy that we just entered into, the gate 6 in our sun. This is known as the gate of friction. It's also known as the gate of conflict and intimacy. Gate 6 lives in the solar plexus, the emotional solar plexus, and it governs both emotional conflict and intimacy. It's the energy of testing boundaries in relationships, sometimes sparking conflict, sometimes opening the door to that deeper closeness, that intimacy. Where this shows up in life is feeling that heightened sensitivity in relationships. Little things may feel bigger than usual. It might show up as experiencing emotional tension or conflict as a way of testing that truth. It might show up in moments where intimacy deepens because you move through conflict with honesty and with care. In the shadow of this energy, it can look like avoiding conflict altogether or having that emotional volatility. Either way, withdrawing completely to avoid friction or exploding in ways that actually harm trust. The gift of this energy, of the 6, is true intimacy, using conflict as a doorway to understanding, to depth, and to honest emotional connection. So, the reflection questions that I want you to consider this week as we process this energy: how do I normally respond to conflict? Is it avoidance, reactivity, openness? What boundaries or truths are being tested in my relationships right now? And how might friction actually be an invitation into deeper intimacy? So that's our sun's energy. Balancing that energy, we have 36 also in the solar plexus. When I saw this, I was like, holy emotional solar plexus. This is known as, in traditional human design, the gate of crisis. It is also known as the gate of emotional depth and experience. Gate 36 is the emotional wave of intensity. It's the drive for experience, growth, and change. It often brings a little bit of restlessness, some longing, or even a feeling of crisis when life feels stagnant. At its best, it creates emotional depth and compassion through lived experience. Where this might show up in life, that again, feeling restless or unsettled, craving change or adventure. It might show up as experiencing emotional highs and lows more dramatically than usual. It might show up as crises, big or small, surfacing to create growth, to change perspective, and to cultivate that compassion. The shadow of this energy is turbulence, getting caught in the drama, reacting impulsively, or resisting the lesson inside the crisis. The gift of this energy is humanity and depth. This ability to embrace emotional intensity as a part of life's richness and to respond with compassion. You're going to keep hearing me say compassion, compassion, compassion with this gate, both for yourself and the people around you who might be living in reactivity to it. The reflection questions that I want you to consider with this 36: where am I craving change? And how can I approach it consciously? What emotional intensity am I experiencing? And what lesson might it hold? How can I let crisis be a teacher instead of just chaos? What's really going to help you this week is seeing conflict as feedback. Friction reveals what needs healing. Emotional honesty is going to help this transit. Speaking truthfully, not reactively, holding compassion. Crises grow your humanity. Allowing the wave is going to help this transit tremendously. Don't rush the clarity inside of the turbulence. Let it pass. Get to that emotionally neutral space. And letting boundaries be intimacy. Those clear lines deepen trust. What may trip you up this week: avoiding conflict, pretending everything is fine when it isn't, becoming addicted to that drama, getting lost in that turbulence instead of seeing those lessons might trip you up. Emotional explosions, speaking before riding the wave, speaking from that not emotionally clear space. Having a fear of change might also trip you up this week. Resisting growth that comes through discomfort. I say all the time, comfort and growth do not coexist. And lastly, clinging to control, or that illusion of control, I should say, trying to fix or manage other people's emotions. This week's energy is fiery. It's raw and it's deeply human. Gate 6 and 36 together can feel like too much. Too much conflict, too much turbulence, too much emotion. But this energy isn't here to break you down. It's here to show you that conflict doesn't have to destroy connection. It can deepen it. Crisis doesn't have to be chaos. It can, in fact, grow compassion. Your invitation is to breathe through the friction, to ride that wave of turbulence, and to trust that intimacy and growth are on the other side. The gentle challenge this week is don't avoid the hard conversations. Lean into them with grace. Don't collapse into drama. Seek the lesson inside of the storm. And don't judge your emotional intensity. Let it expand your humanity. This is a week to practice grace under fire, tenderness inside of turbulence, and intimacy through honesty. You may feel tested, but those tests are opening the door to deeper truth and deeper love. As a reminder, tomorrow we have our Limitless University Deep Dive Series masterclass on the Root Center. It's all about navigating that pressure that we often feel from the outside world and how to stay in alignment and to stay in integrity with who you want to be, that higher version of yourself. So that's tomorrow at 6. So I am looking forward to see you there. Also, right after that, we're doing the second fireside chat. It is navigating stress and overwhelm in uncertainty. I am really excited about this. We've got some guests coming, and we're gonna have an awesome conversation like we did last week. Self trust in the messy middle was so juicy. I feel like so many people walked away with new ahas. On the 24th, we have our next Heart Seat coaching session. This is a space where I encourage you to bring questions about your chart, your purpose, your relationships, your kids' charts. Like, let's just get some deeper understanding. We also use that space to talk marketing and systems and strategies. So, both and. And the last thing that I want to make you aware of, a reminder, the Wake Up Your Magic retreat is coming up. It is in College Park, Maryland. We're spending a whole day together getting busting through loops that are holding you back in your business and in your relationships and in your life right now. I'm really excited for this full day that we're going to spend together and all of the ahas that are waiting for you behind. Some of the events that I was talking about, like the Heartseat coaching, the master classes, are included in the next level up of membership. So if you are in fact ready for that next level of support, please scan the QR code or click the link in the chat. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you to see how I can support you even more.
Every Tuesday morning, we gather live in Limitless University for what I call our weekly energy alignment. We start by celebrating wins because your victories matter and deserve to be witnessed. Then we dive into the week's collective energy together, and we close in gratitude, setting the foundation for a week of flow and alignment. The transit report you just heard is one piece of our hour-long gathering. And there's something really special about experiencing this energy work in real time with other humans who get it. You can join us at diamonddripconsulting.com, and you can also find that link in the show notes.